The Shanley Blue and Gold presents Speaking of, your monthly news update, hosted by Kanal Goyle.
Welcome to the second installment of Speaking of, your Shanley News Update. I'm your host, Kunal. Shanley Spring Sports, or in other words, teams that actually make the playoffs, are finally here, bringing about our new segment, Bad Sport One-Liners. We'll start with the great sport of tennis. Why can you never fall in love with a tennis player? Because to them, love means nothing. Sorry, ladies. Yeah, that's me. Anyways, next we have golf. Wait a second. Why is that on the list? Who put that there? That's not even a real sport. Sorry about that. For the soccer joke, I had to consult my personal joke expert, the milk cartons we get in the cafeteria. Why was the soccer stadium so windy? Because of all the fans. It's a boring sport. It's a boring joke. What do you want? Last but not least, we have baseball. What does a baseball player and Michael Jackson have in common? They both wear a glove for no apparent reason. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has been Bad Sport One-Liners. Speaking of racial undertones, the president of Emory has been in the news recently as he wrote an article for the New York Times where, when trying to give an example of two sides working together, he used the 3/5 compromise, which during slave times determined for tax purposes that slaves were 3/5 of the white man. Which brings us to another segment. Really? Come on. Really, Emory president? I know Congress isn't getting anything done now, but you had to go that far back to when black people were still slaves for an example of people working together? No wonder Emory doesn't have a football team. Come on, man. Carnival cruise ships have been in the news recently, as a major cruise ship lost all power and sewage control for 3 days, and everybody's making a big deal because some rich people had to deal with some sewage overflow. Really, guys? I'm from India. And that has been, really? Come on. Speaking of human waste, the DeKalb County School Board is in limbo right now, as everyone has decided to fire themselves for incompetence and then appeal the decisions to be fired. Governor Nathan Deal has accepted the recommendation to fire 6 of the 9 board members, and to avoid so much corruption in the future, Deal has nominated Bernie Madoff and his henchmen to take their positions. Speaking of scandals, the Tesco horse meat scandal, which started in Europe, has been exposed, as hundreds of supposed burgers were actually containing horse meat. Again, I'm surprised at the outcry about this. Am I the only one who's surprised they're actually putting meat in those fast food burgers? I mean, what's next? Are they going to tell us there's real chicken in McDonald's nuggets? And seriously, how many times during the day do you hear someone say, "I'm so hungry I could eat a horse," and now you find out you have been and you're all upset? Just go back, eat your burger, and try to avoid looking in mirrors as usual. In Russia, hundreds were injured, and the world's attention was captured as a meteor shower rained down on the country. Wait a second. Meteors in Russia? A snowstorm in Texas? Dennis Rodman is our diplomat in North Korea? Alright, it's time to come forward. Which one of you has been playing Jumanji? Our final topic of business today is the Obama administration releasing a statement saying that they do have the right to use drones to kill any American citizen suspected.